17 years ago, the decomposing remains of a man were found in a landfill in southeastern Massachusetts, USA. Although authorities had fingerprints, dental records, and a full DNA profile of the man, his identity has remained elusive until now. This John Doe has finally been identified. We often talk about cases solved through advances in DNA technology, but this case is not one of them. It was solved through advances in other methods. On 29 August 2005, the decomposing remains of a man were found at the BFI landfill on Airport Road in Fall River, Massachusetts. The John Doe was about 5 feet 8 inches, 180 pounds, and estimated to be 30 to 40 years old. He'd recently had medical treatment on his left ankle. The medical examiner concluded that the man had died within a week of his body being found, having arrived in a dump truck from Peabody or the North Shore. They were able to obtain fingerprints, dental records, and a full DNA profile, but their search was in vain. DNA was entered into CODIS and NamUs, but there were no results. They ran his fingerprints in 2005, which led to no results. He was buried in an unmarked grave at Oak Grove Cemetery, with no loved ones there to mourn him. The computer system was updated almost 8 years ago and the fingerprints were run again, this time leading to a hit. His identification was the result from recent upgrades to the automated fingerprint identification system. The man was identified as 41-year-old Leon Brown, of Boston. Leon lived with and suffered from multiple sclerosis. He had difficulty walking and used leg braces. His girlfriend, who he lived with at the time, had reported to the police that she woke up at some point in August of 2005 and he was missing. A statement from the district attorney states that he was not initially reported missing. Investigators are examining this case as a suspicious death as his leg braces which he used to walk were nowhere to be found on him or anywhere in the landfill, in addition to the fact that although Leon was from Boston, his remains were found 30 minutes drive away, in Fall River. On 31 August, a cross bearing his name and flowers were placed above his grave by members of the district attorney's office. Investigators with the DA's office are also working to identify remains from 12 other cases going back to 1983. I'm glad this gentleman was finally identified. It is heartbreaking when someone is murdered, let alone disposed of so thoughtlessly in a place like a landfill, especially when it is someone who is part of our vulnerable population.